So morning you come across introduction and some type of chart. No, sorry, some type of stressors. Okay. So now let us continue with the strain now. Okay. Let us continue with the strain. So now strain is noted with the letter epsilon, small e. Okay. Epsilon and small e. So now what is the meaning of strain? What is the meaning of strain?
Change in dimension to the original dimension.
Change in dimensions to the original
Original dimension.
dimensions. Now,
Yes,
whether Pradeep Pattar joined class?
yes sir.
Okay. Someone says change in dimension to the original dimension. Okay. Now, as seen, so when you are applying the load on a component, okay, now this is a one component. As you're applying the load, it's going to make a change in dimensions. It's going to make change in dimensions. So the dimensions is going to cause some sort of deformation with respect to its nature. Now, let us consider here, again I'm going to take a bar here, which has a length L here, which has a depth B, breadth B, length L. Okay. Now, let us apply the load here in its axial direction. In its axial direction. So now what happens here? As the load is applied, so it's going to get a new shape. It's going to get a new shape. Okay. Now let us go for the change in dimensions here. Okay. Change in dimensions. This is what a L dash. Okay. This is what a B dash. This is what a D dash. This is what a D dash. So now, as you see, as you see, whether the dimensions are change, all are increases or some dimensions are going to decrease.
Sir, length increases sir.
Length increases. Okay. Now
Breadth it decreases.
other dimensions are decreased. Suppose if you look out the side view of this component, okay. Now B and D are initial dimensions, right? D dash and B dash are final dimensions. Now here in front view, L dash is the increased dimension. Someone is trying to join who is the oh, no. Suppose now this is a case of tensile load. Okay, this is case of tensile load. Suppose if the load is compressive, if the load is compressive, Now let us take, this is what L, this is B, now this is what depth D. Now as you apply the compressive load, what will happen here? What will happen if you apply the compressive load?
Length decreases, sir, and
Length decreases,
other
other dimensions
dimensions
are
are
going to
increases.
increase.
Increases.
Now this is what the final shape after application of load. Now if you consider it's a side view here, now this is what depth, this is what breadth. Okay. Now this is what a D dash, this is what B dash. Right? No. When changes takes place in its longitudinal direction, that is what along length, okay. At the same time, so as changes takes place in longitudinal direction, right? Again, the lateral dimension also going to take, lateral dimensions also going to change. Okay, so lateral dimensions also changes. Okay, as you see, if it's a tensile load, length is increased to L dash, other dimensions are decreased here. Okay, so B, D are original dimensions, B dash, D dash are after what you can say, after application of the load you are going to get these dimensions. Similarly here also, L is a final, sorry, L is the initial length, L dash is a final length here. Okay, B, D are initial, D dash, P dash are final. Right? Now, so the nature of the change in lateral directions, okay, are exactly opposite to the changes in longitudinal direction. Okay, suppose you just look out here. Now, lateral dimensions, what happens here? Dimension decreases. Okay, in linear or longitudinal direction, dimensions are increases. Similarly, if you consider the case of a compressive load here, case of compressive load. Now here the longitudinal dimensions are decreases, okay, and lateral dimensions are increases here, right? Clear? Okay. Now, so the longitudinal direction, what you can say, the strain which is going to occur in the direction of load, okay, the strain which is going to occur in the direction of load is called as a linear strain or longitudinal strain. Okay. Now, go for definition. The change in length per unit length is known as is known as linear strain or longitudinal strain. Okay, linear strain or longitudinal strain. So now let us go for the equation here. Linear strain is equal to change in length to original length to original length. Okay. Now, if you go on for EL as a longitudinal stress or linear stress, now what is the change in length? Now, L dash is the final length minus original length is the change in length divided by original length. This is equal to what? Delta L by L. Okay. Now just look out here. L dash is final length, L is the initial length. Now what are the change in dimensions here? L dash minus L. Now original dimension is L, right? Similarly, if it's a compressive, then L dash is lesser value, L is more value. We are going to get in terms of strain in negative value, okay, because of compressive nature. Now, what is the unit of strain?
There is no unit, sir.
There is no unit because it is a get cancels, it is a unitless, okay. Now, the lateral strain may be defined as lateral strain may be defined as changes in the lateral dimensions per unit lateral dimension per unit lateral dimension, okay. So now this is what lateral strain equal to lateral strain equal to change in lateral dimension divided by original lateral dimensions, okay. Suppose if you gone for ELT as a lateral, now change in dimensions here, it's a B dash minus B divided by B is equal to dB by B, or so D dash minus D divided by D is equal to what? By D, okay. So now this is what a change in depth, this is what a change in breadth. So now either you can calculate a lateral strain by using these relations or you can using these relations, because so lateral dimensions are going to decrease or increase with a proportionate value, with proportionate value. Why we are considering that one? Because the material which is there, it is of isotropic nature and it is a homogeneous, okay. It is of isotropic nature and it is a homogeneous. If it is a non-isotropic, what you can case it is a non-isotropic material, whether it is an anisotropic and one more is there. So that means if the properties are different in different directions, then you are going to get the change in dimensions as a different, okay. So now in strength of material we are assuming material is a homogeneous and isotropic. Clear? No. No. Next thing is next thing is, so what is the stress strain relationship here? Okay. What is the stress strain relationship? Now you have come across meaning of stress, you come across meaning of strain, stress strain relation, or load versus displacement, or deformation. Okay, load versus it is the deformation, load versus deformation relation. Now, do we have any idea how we are going to get the stress strain relationship? Do we have any idea how we are going to get the stress strain relationship? Just recall from your
Sir, it depends on Hooke's law, sir.
depends on Hooke's law. Okay, so next,
Elastic limits.
elastic limit. Next, next. Now, however, we are going to get the stress strain curve of a mild state. Stress strain curve of a mild state. How are we going to get? Now we'll just draw the diagram. You can easily identify. So how you got this curve?
UDL test, sir.
UDL stat or UTM test?
UTM, sir. Universal test.
Okay. Now, do we have any idea how the preparation is done? How the preparation is done? Do we have any idea?
Stress is directly proportional to strain within elastic limits.
Stress is proportional to direct strain with elastic limit. I agree. But what is the procedure to conduct this tensile test, and what is the importance to carry out this test? What is importance here?
Sir, using a therapy.
What is importance?
So compressive acting on the mild steel, sir. That
Compress acting on the mild steel. Okay.
and
Next. No, any idea? What is the purpose to conduct this tensile test?
So finding the load carrying capacity of the metal. Sir.
Okay, good. Next. Only that much? Only that much? Okay, now, so when you've gone for developing a new material, okay, so nowadays you have seen a lot of composite materials are coming into market, as well as their applications, okay, as well there is their applications. To find out the some standard properties of a particular material, for example, if you know the mechanical properties of the material, okay, what is its elastic limit, what is its plastic limit, what is its ultimate strength, what is its breaking load, and what is its upper elastic limit and lower elastic limit. So now after conducting lot of experiments, they come to a standard procedure. That is what. So you need to carry out the new material in a tensile test specimen, in a tensile testing machine, to find out the properties. What is its elastic limit? What is its Young's modulus? What is its what is its modulus of rigidity? You can find out all the properties when you gone for carrying out this universal testing machine experiment. Okay, right. Now, now as you are using this component either for tensile load, either for compressive load. Okay, so now the behavior of the material or a specimen is differ in tension as well as in compression. Okay, now let us look out here how the tensile test is carried out in a universal testing machine. Okay, so first you need to prepare a specimen here. You need to prefer a specimen. I hope I have some slides. Let us see whether it's there. Okay, so now this is what a stress strain relation, a behavior in tension for a mild steel. Okay, right now, so you need to prefer a specimen. Better I will draw here. No, so now this is what a specimen preferred here. So you need to mark some dimensions. Okay, so now this is what a gauge diameter. This is what a gauge length. Okay, I'll just report I'll just report it because already now. So how we are going to conduct this one and what are results we are going to obtain by this standard tensile testing. Okay. Now, so now this is what it is going to be held in upper jaw of UTM. Okay, upper jaw of UTM. This bottom portion is also going to held in lower jaw of UTM here. Okay, this is what lower jaw is going to held in upper jaw. So now for this specimen, a gradual load is applied here. Gradually load is applied. Okay. Now present today you have a digital universal testing machines. Okay, you are going to get the plots directly. Okay, you are going to get the plot directly. That means you are going to get the values. Okay, as how much load, as the load you go on increasing load, so you are going to get the digital display of the displacement. Okay, but if you consider in olden days, so this specimen is attached with some, what you can say, extensiometers. Okay, so these specimens are attached with some extensiometer. Okay, so those extensiometer are going to count the how much distance it has been increased or how much length it has been increased. So based on extensiometer counting, you can find out what is the increase in length as you go on applying the load here. Okay. Now with respect to the load versus extension, okay, load versus extension, or so load versus displacement, or load versus deformation. Now I think deformation is not good here because is most convenient for the plastic behavioral objects. Okay, load versus extension or load versus displacement. Okay, now based on the values of these two, okay, load and extension, and graph is plotted here, and graph is plotted, so that graph is called as a stress strain relationship graph. Okay, that graph is called as a stress strain relationship. Okay, now I can specify here only. Now this is what a origin. Okay, let us go for, this is a point A, this is point B, and this is point C, this is point D, and this is what point E, and this is what point F. Okay? Point F. Okay? Now let us take point here B. Let us point A. Now can someone name what is the name for curve up to O to A
in the elastic line.
within the elastic limit? Okay, within the elastic limit. Okay, now here you are going to get a two important uh, points here. So A and B. Some book they have gone for little away from the point A as a point B. Okay, and some book they have saying both points are same. Some book they have said it is a same, both are same. Okay, but the proportionality of limit or limit of proportionality is what up to point A. Limit of proportionality is up to A, and up to point B it is what elastic limit. It is what a elastic limit. Okay, after that one you are going to get upper yield point and you are going to get the lower yield point. Maruti Sinde,
Huh?
unmute maro. ಏನೋ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲೋ. Now, as you go on drawing the curve based on the values obtained and conduction of the experiment, you are going to get two values, load as well as extension of the extensiometer. Okay. Now load is increased gradually. There is no any sudden. Okay. So load is increased gradually. Now as you go on drawing the curve with related to the points, now in horizontal directions you need to go for extensiometer reading here. Okay. And in vertical you need to go for the load value, or the stress value or the strain value here. Now from O to A, you are going to get an exact straight line here. You are going to get a exact straight line. This is called limit of proportionality. This is called limit of proportionality. Okay. That means if you are going to draw the slope here, okay, if you gone for drawing the slope, you are going to get the same slope anywhere between the points between these O to A curve. O to A curve. Now point B is called as elastic limit. Elastic limit. So now between point A and B there is no such too much gap. There is no much gap here. Okay. There is hardly 0.1 percentage or 0.05 percentage is there. So for that reason, so some authors are going to say both are same. Limit of proportionality is same, elastic limit is also same. Okay. So some book here it has been differed here. Now, as you are applying the load gradually, suppose if you remove the load somewhere between uh, between the points OA. Now the component is going to get its original shape here. Component is going to get some original shape. Now you are going to get original shape up to elastic limit. Up to elastic limit. Once you exceeds the elastic limit, your component does not going to complete original shape. Okay. Now as the load is applied gradually, so slightly beyond the point of proportionality limit or elastic limit. So now let us go here point B. So now if the load is applied gradually, from here onwards what happens? So there is a sudden change in area. Sorry. There is a sudden change in area which is going to reduce the cross section of this specimen somewhere. Cross section of this specimen somewhere. Right? Now as it reduces the cross section somewhere, suddenly the extensions increases. Suddenly the extensions increases here. Okay. Now at this rate or at this point, so strain is about 0.12 percentage. Okay. Strain is about 0.125 percentage. Right. Again, as the load increases, as the load increases, so now it's not able to catch up the applied load and it is start giving some form of deformation here, giving some form of deformation. So that means, so particularly in this case, in this region what happens, so there is a lot of we can say change in crystal structure as well as deformation of the molecules, all those takes place. Okay, all those takes place. So now the point C, okay, I can say the point C is noted as upper yield point. Means from this point onwards yielding starts. Actually after point B, when it exceeds the elastic limit, so the yielding will start. Yielding will takes place. Okay. So now as it is going to get a little higher load than the point B, so this says it as a upper yield point. Okay. So next, if you have a point D here, point D is lower yield point, lower yield point. Okay. So now in this case, the strain suddenly increases for the same amount of load, for the same amount of load. Okay. Next, again, if you go on increasing the load, now from this point onwards, the plastic deformation takes place. So now as yielding starts, okay, somewhere it is going to resist the yielding, somewhere it is going to resist the yielding, and it starts goes on increasing the deformation along with the ability to take higher load, ability to take higher load. Okay, so now this point E is called as the ultimate load, ultimate strength or ultimate stress. Okay, now point E is called as the ultimate stress or ultimate load. Okay. Now again as you go on increasing the load, so it is not able to carry the load because there is a cup, and as somewhere it has been formed a neck position here, somewhere it is going to form a neck position. So now its dimensions goes on decreasing as you go on increasing the load here. So now somewhere it is going to break out here, somewhere it is going to break out. So that load is called as a breaking load, that load is called as a breaking load or a breaking point. Okay. So now in this case it is what point? Yeah. Okay. So now F is called as a breaking point. F is called as a breaking point. Right? Now, suppose if you draw a line parallel to this OA line, parallel to this OA line, okay, somewhere here. So once it has set some plastic deformation here, so it does not come to its original position. Okay? So I think it is going to call as the hysteretic stresses. So you can just study that one. I hope you are going to come that portion in material science and metallurgy. Otherwise, you have some idea in. Okay, I think that particular portion is called as an permanent strain. Okay, so because it's going to leave some deformation here, so there is going to set some permanent strain here. Okay? Permanent strain. Okay. Now coming to the relation here. So as I said, you have a elastic limit. You have elastic limit. That means, as I said, if you draw any slope, okay, the slope between this point OA anywhere, so you are going to get the same slope. You are going to get the same slope. So that slope is related to some constant here. That slope is related to some constant. Okay. So now it is called as a Hooke's law. It's called as a Hooke's law. So what is the definition of Hooke's law?
Stress is directly proportional to strain.
Okay. So now Robert Hooke, an English mathematician, conducted several experiments and concluded that stress is proportional to the strain up to elastic limit. Okay. So now what it concludes, stress is proportional to strain within elastic limit, right? Elastic limit. So this is called as a Hooke's law. This is called as a Hooke's law. So now according to his definition, stress is proportional to strain here. Stress is proportional to strain. So where sigma is stress, okay, so E is strain. E is strain. So hence you can write stress equal to capital E into small e. Capital E into small e. Now where capital E is constant of proportionality. Constant of proportionality. So this is also called as and is known as Planck's modulus or modulus of elasticity. Planck's modulus of elasticity. It has been named after the English scientist Thomas Young. Okay, Thomas Young. Right now, before going to start next bit, let us go for what are the different mechanical properties you come across. Now, mechanical properties of a material. Okay, so now based on this, whatever we can say, tensile strength, you can find out what is this strength, what is this elasticity. So strength is you can go to get what is the yield strength, upper yield strength, lower yield strength. So what is the ultimate strength? Okay, and what is the breaking strength? You can find out all these properties by standard tensile testing procedures. Okay, now, so can you say what are the meanings of strength, plasticity, rigidity, ductility? You can say one or two words. So what is the meaning of elasticity?
When the force is applied to a body, it's regains original. It's not regains original shape and size.
It does not regain its original shape and size. Good. Next.
Elasticity means it regains the original shape and size.
Elasticity means it regains the original shape. Right. Next.
There is a little bit changes in the body, sir. Rigidity.
Rigidity means what?
There is a little bit changes or deformation in the body.
Deformation in the body. Okay. We'll discuss tomorrow again detail. Okay. Now just have the idea. Okay.
Okay.
Next, what is the ductility? What is ductility?
Applying a tensile stress and drawing a thin wire, sir.
Good. Next, what is malleability?
Applying compressive load and making thin sheets, sir.
Applying compressive load and making thin sheets. Okay. Next. Next. Brittleness. Brittleness. What is brittleness? Hardness. Here, bro. Am I audible or not?